When you hear the word courage, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture some extraordinary act of bravery, somebody running into a burning building or a soldier on a battlefield. And those are certainly courageous acts. But most of us probably aren't going to find ourselves in situations like those. Still, every one of us will have opportunities to practice courage, probably more often than we even realize. We might need courage to have a difficult conversation, for example, or maybe to admit that we were wrong, or to speak up when we know something isn't right. We might need courage to set a boundary when it would be a lot easier for us to give in. And sometimes practicing courage simply means getting out of bed and putting one foot in front of the other when life gets really hard. There's another name for this kind of courage, and that's fortitude. Fortitude is one of the 4 cardinal virtues. The Catechism tells us that fortitude gives us firmness in difficulties and constancy in the pursuit of the good. So in everyday language, fortitude helps us to do what is good when it's hard, right? And to keep doing it when we'd rather just give up. And like all the virtues, fortitude takes practice. God's grace and the Holy Spirit strengthen us, but we still have a part to play. We grow in fortitude by practicing it, and usually in the small, ordinary, mundane moments of life. I've often thought of the virtues as tools that we can use to help us live and love well on our Christian journey. Because let's face it, living and loving well can get messy. We lose our patience, we say something we wish we could take back, maybe we avoid a conversation we know we need to have. Honestly, I can look back on almost any given day and find something I could have done better. So for me, that's where the virtues become more than ideas. We practice them right in the middle of our ordinary, everyday lives, and we get plenty of opportunities to practice fortitude. These aren't necessarily big, heroic moments. They're ordinary moments when we know or at least sense what the right thing is, but doing that right thing takes courage. And sometimes it costs us something. I've experienced that in my own life. There have been times when I felt that I needed to speak up because I knew something was wrong. And sometimes that's cost me relationships. I've lost friends over this. It was hard, but I believed it was the right thing. But I've also gotten it wrong. I've remained silent sometimes because speaking up was too uncomfortable. I've spoken when maybe I should have remained silent. And I've reacted out of emotion instead of slowing down long enough to think, to practice prudence, and to discern what is good. That's important because fortitude isn't simply about being bold or fearless. Fortitude is always directed toward what is good. Sometimes practicing fortitude means speaking up. Sometimes it might mean remaining silent. Sometimes it might mean acting, and other times it means patiently enduring something that we just can't change. And so that's why fortitude requires discernment. And this is where we can see how the cardinal virtues work together, right? Prudence helps us discern what the right thing is. Practicing justice helps us consider what we owe to God and to one another. And then fortitude helps us follow through, to actually do what is right and remain faithful to it even when it's difficult. So here's something to practice. Notice one thing you know is good and right, but you've been avoiding because it's difficult. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, an apology you need to make, a boundary you need to set, something you need to say or do, or perhaps something you need to stop saying and doing. Just notice that one place where doing the good is difficult for you. Pray about it, practice prudence to discern what is right, and then ask God for the courage to take the next step, and then take it. That's how we grow in fortitude, through grace and practice, one small, often difficult choice at a time. And of course, we're not doing this alone. God is right there with us, strengthening us as we practice through Him, for Him, and with Him. So pray, practice, persevere, and God bless you.